Question for you. Are you unhappy? Well, the truth is, if you are, you actually may be doing it to yourself. Jeff Laundreville, he's the author of The Filter and recently featured as a teen expert in a new book called The Expert Guide to Teenagers. I'll have to get that eventually, Jeff. So it's great to have you here, Jeff. He's here to share more about how we can surrender to start being happy today. Jeff, this is something a lot of people are intrigued by. We all search for happiness. We're on the hunt for happiness. But where should we really be searching?
Inward. Everyone thinks a lot of things outside are going to fix us, you know. That's why so much money is spent on so many different things, from nice cars, nice houses, to feeling good about yourself if you have more. And really what you want is have more inside. And what you have more inside is by searching more inside. And it's very difficult at times. That's why most people don't do it. But we have to go inward to get more of our life and to give more of our life before we can actually, you know, move on.
I think it's because we're clouded by ads and media and material things constantly and keeping up with the Joneses, and so there's that pressure to constantly have more and more and more. And I think it's so hard to get past that sometimes. So many people do think, if I buy that boat, I'll be happy. If I buy a bigger house, I'll be happy. But what's the reality here?
Yeah, the reality is no, they're not. And you know what? There's if you search anyone, you talk to different people that, especially in meditation, meditation's a huge thing right now. I just want to mention, because a lot of people are going inward more and more because they realize even if they're a famous star and they have tons of money, fame, whatever, they're still not happy. So you're finding more and more people going into meditation. Meditation is simply going inward. And you can go in many different ways. Some people it's meditation, some people it's reading a book, some people it's actually, you know, having different conversations with people. However, it's good for you. But we're finding more and more people, even famous people, going inward because they get to that point where they have all the fame, all the money, and they say, why am I still not happy? It looks like it on TV, I'm supposed to be really happy, and yet I'm there now and I'm still not happy. So it's something that we can all learn by, just as the normal public in general, we can learn by that.
Isn't it amazing? I have a gold toilet, but I'm not happy. All right, let's talk about the 5 tips that you are going to offer that will help people surrender to being happy today. Now, the first thing that you have to remind people of is jealousy. Sometimes that gets in the way.
Jealousy is a thing that's talked about a lot, but I don't think a lot of people really truly understand. It's not what other people have, it's what you don't have that creates jealousy. Let me say it one more time. It's what you don't have. Not what people do have, but what you don't have that creates jealousy. So it's, I should have that, I should have that. How come I don't have that? If I had that, I'd be happy. So you get into that whole thing once again. It's not exactly what they have, but you're just more like feeling bad for yourself that you don't have it. And that really does is weaken you. And you'll never achieve any type of happiness or any type of material things, feelings, emotions, anything you want in life if you keep kind of sabotaging yourself by actually saying, look what they have, look what I don't have. If you keep saying that to yourself, that's the way it's going to be, and you're not going to have much. And what I mean by not much is not much happiness.
Exactly, and I've seen a quote before, someone else is happy with less than what you have.
That's right.
It's a reminder that someone's happy and they don't have all the things you have, so just be happy with what you got.
Right, I love quotes, but you nailed it. You got to look at quotes and say, okay, what does this really mean, and how can I actually identify with it to my own life? So you nailed the quote, because you have to actually say, how does this then affect me?
How does it affect me, exactly. Your next tip is resentment. What do you mean by this?
Well, resentment, that's when people get more of the anger and the sadness of how come they have this, part of the jealousy, but also they get more angry about it, not just, you know, actually jealous about it, but they actually start getting really mad about it, and they can't forgive people of things. And when you don't forgive people, people think if you forgive somebody that you're letting them get away with something. They've done something to you, and if you forgive them, well, then they're off the hook. That's not what it means at all. If you don't forgive them, you keep on replaying it. You keep on hurting yourself over and over and over again. And why would you do that to yourself? So if you look at forgiveness and resentment a different way, resentment will hurt you, will harm you, will not make your life better. Forgiveness will let it go, but always remember to be smart in the next stage, but make yourself a better person for the next situation. It's not about them. It's about you and what you want for you and your family.
Right, let it go. That will bring happiness into your life. Let's talk about dependence, depending on other people, relying on them for happiness.
Right. This is what a lot of people do, and we've started finding this more and more in our society, and I really wish people would get away from it. You know, if he did this for me, then I'd be happy. We find this a lot in relationships. If I find the right man, if I find the right woman, then I'll be happy. And then people find out they're still not happy. You're waiting for someone to fix you. And the only person that can truly make yourself better person, and better happiness is you, yourself. So don't look at it that way. Look at it as when I feel better about myself, I go inward, I'm working on myself, then the right time will come along and the right person will come along because they'll see that I worked on myself. Not the other way of someone's going to fix me. That doesn't happen, and yet we live in a society of thinking that'll be the easy fix. Someone comes in and says, I got it all, I'll take care of everything. It's not the way it works, and so we have to look for inward. We know it's difficult, but it's worth it in the long run.
And if only everyone in the world could do it, we'd have a happier world that we live in. Well, we have even more tips with you later on in the show, so thank you so much, Jeff, for being here. We'll see you in just a bit.
Thank you.
We're back with Jeff Laundreville. He's the author of The Filter, and we're talking about how to start being happy today. And your daughter's in studio with you, Lola. We decided, hey, why not have her come up too?
Hey.
Now, you also have a newborn at home.
I do. Tyler Jane Laundreville was born a few days ago.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And thank you for being here, Dad of a 4-day-old newborn.
Yeah,
I give
she's
you
doing great.
a lot of credit. All right, we're talking about happiness. I'm sure there's nothing that makes you more happy than your children.
That's right.
Of course. So that is something that's outward, but we're talking about how happiness doesn't come from searching from the outside, it's about going inward. Now, we already talked about some of the tips, but let's talk about perfectionism and how this can really stop us from being happy.
Right, we can't have ourselves set up for perfectionism and that's it, because it makes it very difficult for all of us. So what we have to do is think, okay, if I'm making strides in my life and I'm making my life better in different ways, then that is achieving. It's not about just the top of the line, because if we do that and we say, if we don't reach perfectionism, then we failed. We are setting ourselves up for failure almost every time.
Right.
And a lot of people still do that, which is sad. So you want to always try to set yourself up where I'm getting better, I'm getting better. That's how you measure. You don't measure in perfectionism. You measure is, have I learned more? Am I smarter, stronger, and better than the day before?
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that. Lola and I were chatting, and we're talking about her performance on stage, and she said, I messed up a little bit, and I wasn't. But I said, you're not perfect. And so, but you enjoyed the experience. It made you happy, and isn't that all that matters?
Pretty much.
Yeah, see? So it's not about being perfect, it's about enjoying the ride.
Right, absolutely.
Now, also, a lot of times what gets in the way of happiness is the self-doubt.
Right, right. This is where we have to be careful, because this hurts a lot of different people, and it's more about, this is what creates insecurities. Don't ever self-doubt yourself. Try to think of the strengths in yourself and have people support you in your strengths. Go to people who kind of give you more and add more to your life and keep on pushing you to be better in that kind of way. The self-doubt will creep in when you listen to the demons in the world, as I say, the people that will give you negative talk. And if you believe that, then it'll become fact and it'll make it very difficult for your life. So what Lola and I always try to do is like point things out and say, when we're watching TV or when we're talking to somebody, how would you do that? How would you do that differently? Just to make herself more aware of things. And what we do a lot of is if a girl is on, a certain person is not dressed appropriately on TV or in person, we say, is that person dressed appropriately? No, she's not. And sometimes she'll point it out. It has nothing to do with that. It's more of learning. And how do you learn? You incorporate your child in the learning.
Yeah, I think that's so important, asking the questions, involving them.
Right.
But also to make sure that you know that just because what you see on TV, it doesn't mean it's right.
That's right.
Or it doesn't mean that person's happy or that makes them happy. It's about finding it from within. And now you're 9 years old, Lola.
Yes,
what makes you happy as a 9-year-old?
Well, I like being with my little sister. I think she's adorable, and I just love holding her, and I just love being with her.
Oh my goodness, what a good big sister. See, so there are things that we can look
That's
for
right.
that are outside of ourselves that bring us joy.
And we talk a lot about what she's going to teach her little sister, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
How to dress.
And one of them is stay away from boys.
Very good. Fair enough.
Every parent out there just laughed out loud. Oh my gosh, Lola, you're adorable. Okay, so let's recap. 5 tips to start being happy today, Jeff.
Yes.
So jealousy, don't be jealous.
Right.
We also don't want to hold resentment.
Right. All these things will hold you back. Any type of anger, sadness will hold you back from achieving, and you got to let it go. And let it go is very difficult to do, but you can do it if you work on it and forgive not only the other people around you, but forgive yourself as well.
And don't get caught up in everything that you see
That's
and
right.
that you're bombarded by, right?
That's
so,
right.
well,
Yeah.
you're going to be a good teacher to your little sister, Tyler. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And hey, this is the start of a team I see here.
That's right.
The Laundreville team.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank
It's
you.
always nice to have you here and wonderful to have you as well, Lola.
Thank you.